think when I was pregnant with Francis, I shared that Kyle and I do not sleep in the same bed, and that we haven't basically in the last, I don't even know how many years. I got so many messages and comments about that. Mostly it was how a lot of you do the same thing or the same kind of setup and you've like never heard of anyone else doing it. So first thing is first is that a lot of people are doing it, and I think for some weird reason they're just nervous to share about it, probably because a lot of people think it's weird or they don't understand or they think that you can only have a good marriage if you're sleeping in the same bed, which of course isn't true. First of all, we take a very as it comes approach, or like each situation, each season, day by day, whatever just is working best for our family. That's what we do. We don't care what everyone else thinks or what anyone else is doing. So I think that's an important mindset to have. When Cashin was born, we all slept in the same bed. And then when Charlie was born, I think what happened is Cashin at that point had been sleeping through the night. And then he kind of went through a bit of a regression. He had a hard time adjusting to Francis. And so to Charlie. The nights got a little bit hard for him. So Kyle started sleeping in his room, in bed with him, so that he, meaning Kyle, would not have to wake up and get out of bed and go into the room over and over and over again, because we all just got way less sleep that way. So he started sleeping in Cashin's room. And then I kind of realized how much I liked having my own space with a newborn, because I could wake up with the baby, turn the lights on, even like watch a show, listen to whatever, and not worry about waking up Kyle. Because with Cashin, that was kind of something I did, was when I was up with Cashin, kind of like be extra careful not to wake up Kyle. So I learned with Charlie that I really liked having my own space postpartum. Hard to remember, but eventually I believe Kyle came back into bed with me and Charlie. And then I think it went back to Cashin was just having a hard time through the night. And we are not sleep training people. We don't do sleep training basically at all. I think gentle, there is a way to do it gently, but that's just not our jam. So Kyle just kind of stayed with Cashin. I stayed with Charlie, and it just worked best for us. We all got the most sleep. The kids were the happiest that way. I'm a firm believer that young children are not designed to sleep by themselves if they don't want to. Some do, and that's great. I think most don't, and they like to be near their parent. And then when I was pregnant with Francis and we were approaching, what are we going to do now with all three boys? I was still sleeping with Charlie. Kyle was mostly sleeping with Cashin. And, oh, hang on, the fridge is open. Kyle has all three boys in his room right now, so I can record this. So the plan for that was, let's do like an all boys room. So Cashin and Charlie in the room with Kyle, so that I could have my own space postpartum with Francis. We converted Cashin's room into my room, and then we made a bed for Cashin in the big room, in the master bedroom, and then Charlie and Kyle share a big king bed. One thing we did do with Cashin when he was, I want to say like 4.5, because he was still sleeping in bed with Kyle. And since Charlie was moving in, that kind of felt like the right time to get Cashin, at least in his own bed, but in the same room. But we moved him down to a twin bed on the floor. I think I read this in like a mom's Facebook group about like a tip or a hack to get your kid to sleep in his own bed. And it was bribing, which I think it can be a very effective tool sometimes. Honestly, bribing is kind of a funny word. It was more like a reward system. So when we first did it, we got him all excited about his own bed, and we told him, if you sleep through the whole night in your own bed, in the morning you get to have a donut. And we just did that. I think it took like maybe 2 nights, where when he woke up in the middle of the night and wanted to go up in the bed with Kyle, Kyle would remind him, okay, you can, but you only get your donut in the morning if you make it through your own bed. And that was like, it made it almost fun for him. And it was a very quick transition. So now he sleeps in his own bed through the night. Charlie pretty much sleeps through the night in the same bed with Kyle, but they kind of have their separate sides. And then I'm still in this room with Francis. And everyone is happy this way. I honestly think it's more normal. I feel like the idea of everyone sleeping separately is a very like modern Western idea. We like all sleeping together, as in like with our children. Is it going to be this way forever? No. Will Kyle and I sleep in the same bed someday? Yes. When? I don't know. but we're not worried about it. Our marriage is great and thriving, and you just make it work. So that's my tidbit for today.